It's going down. Shalom. First and foremost, giving all praises, honor, glory, respect, and blessings to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rachak Badash. Salutations to the Lord's elect on the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth and sincerity while patiently waiting for Yahweh Shai's return. And double honors to our apostles and elders, the great millstone, which have taught us everything we know through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. And welcome to another series of It's Going Down, being brought to you by the spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. Kiev threatens to attack Russian territory. Now, as you may know, there's been a lot of tension going on between Ukraine and Moscow. And that, Moscow has done a lot of damage to Ukraine by destroying buildings, killing off Ukrainian soldiers, annexing certain areas, setting up bases, garrisons. And while Ukraine is, continuously receiving the support and help of the United States, it would seem like, that Kiev is still at a disadvantage here. And the reason why that is because the Lord is dealing with Russia, okay? The Lord set Russia up to combat the United States. So do you really think Kiev would have a chance against Russia? It says the Ukrainian government has enough will it says the Ukrainian government has enough will to order a strike against Russian territory, a senior official has warned. Okay, so it says here that Kiev will not hesitate to attack Russian soil if it deems it necessary, Defense Council threatened during a live broadcast on Wednesday. The Security Council closely follows all the missile and airstrikes Russia launches against Ukraine, Danilov said, adding that Ukrainian authorities are well aware of the locations in Russia from which the attacks have been carried out. Kiev possesses enough political will to order a strike against these targets if such a need arises, he added. If needed, anyone in the government will act without hesitation and sign anything that needs to be signed to destroy these objects, Danilov said. The Security Council head also stated that Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky worries about Ukraine retaliating against the locations from the strikes are launched served as proof of Kiev's determination. Earlier, some Ukrainian officials said that the Kiev forces may hit targets on the Crimean Peninsula, the Crimean Bridge, which they consider to be key supply routes for Russian forces. Ukraine's military intelligence spokesman Vadim Skibitsky claimed that Crimea could be targeted by United States supplied M142 HIMARS and M270 MLRS multiple launch rocket systems. Moscow responded by saying that Ukraine would pay a heavy price if it decided to strike Crimea. Russia's former president Dmitry Medvedev said in mid-July that Moscow might respond with a massive strike targeting Ukrainian leadership if that happened. The United States and its allies previously appeared to be reluctant to supply Ukraine with longer-range weapons capable of striking targets deep inside Russia, as they were concerned about the potential escalation of the conflict. Washington has not yet agreed to send tactical ballistic missiles with a distance of up to 300 kilometers to Ukraine. Such missiles can be used by the United States-made HIMARS multiple rocket launchers the U.S. handed over to Kiev. However, according to the spokesman for the Army of the Donetsk People's Republic, Eduard Besurin, Ukrainian forces may have already received 300 kilometers range HIMARS missiles. Okay, the Donetsk People's Republic troops have found pieces of munitions with a range of 111 kilometers to 120 kilometers, which meant that Kiev could have the 300-kilometer missiles, as well as the Besurin told the Russian media last week. Okay. So then it goes on to say, Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov said on Wednesday that the West's persistence in pumping Ukraine with long-range weapons, including the HIMARS, was already making Moscow reconsider the goals of its military operation in the neighboring country. They now go beyond Donbass and include several other Ukrainian regions, he added. Russia sent troops into Ukraine on February 24th, citing Kiev's failure to implement the Minsk agreements designed to give the regions of Donetsk and Lugansk special status within the Ukrainian state, which was leaving those particular areas as a neutral country and not allowing those countries to become a part of NATO. The protocols brokered by Germany and France were first signed in 2014. Former Ukrainian President Pyotr Poroshenko has since admitted that Kiev's main goal was to use the ceasefire to buy time to create powerful armed forces. In February 2022 of this year, the Kremlin recognized the Donbass republics as independent states and demanded that Ukraine officially declare itself a neutral country, as I said earlier, that will never join any Western military blocs. That also includes NATO. Kiev insists the Russian offensive was completely unprovoked. Now, with that being said, this is the book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 6. It says, "And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars." Now, this is a prophecy that Yahweh, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus, spoke of 2,000 years ago. He said that you would hear of wars and rumors of wars. And what are we seeing right now? We're hearing of Kiev. We're hearing rumors of Kiev making threats to attack Russian territory. So we're hearing of wars and rumors of wars. But see that ye be not troubled, for all these things must first come to pass, but the end is not yet. So don't be troubled when you hear of wars and rumors of wars, because all these things must first come to pass, but the end is not by and by. Okay? Now let's go and skip down to verse 7. Okay, Matthew 24, verse 7. It says, "For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be famines, and pestilences, and earthquakes in diverse places." So we're hearing about kingdoms rising against kingdom. Okay? We got the kingdom of Russia rising up against the kingdom of Ukraine. We got the kingdom of the United States rising up against the kingdom of Russia. You know, we got the kingdom of Turkey, okay, Gomer and Togrima, I believe. Okay, the kingdom of Turkey siding with Russia. We got NATO siding with the United States. So we're hearing about kingdoms rising up against kingdoms. Now, if we scroll down here to verse 8, what do we hear about? All these are the beginning of sorrows. So these are all the beginning of sorrows, but the end is not by and by. With that, I'm going to say Shalom is on to the next one.